All right, we're back here on the channel for our daily NBA predictions here for Sunday, February 2nd. We've got 5 games in the National Basketball Association for today, and obviously these 5 games are not the headline today in the NBA. Why? Because Luka Doncic is a Los Angeles Laker. Big win, by the way, last night for the Lakers in New York. And they say, you know what? We beat the Knicks without AD. Let's go get Luka. Just saying, guys. In the Jerry/Genie bus era in Los Angeles, they have been built around superstar players, and that's how the Lakers have been so successful. Magic Johnson is the first move that Jerry Buss makes when he comes down to LA, when he buys the team. You go from Magic, you go to Kobe, LeBron. I know there's gaps in between, but still, for the most part. Magic, Kobe, LeBron, Luka Doncic. I'm serious. Luka, the number 77, will hang in the rafters someday in Los Angeles. We'll see if AD gets his number retired. He should. I mean, hell, we just retired Michael Cooper's number. I get Cooper was there his entire career, but still. Whatever. Anyways, we'll get to more of that Luka stuff in a minute. But folks, if you have not yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily NBA predictions here on the channel. Earlier today, we posted our 5 best bets for college basketball, so make sure to check that video out. That is linked in the description down below, along with our full reaction to Luka to LA. I made this last night as soon as the trade broke. At about 10 o'clock last night, I posted that video, so make sure to check it out in the description down below. That is my full in-depth thoughts about the trade. I'm going to talk about it a little bit when the Mavericks play the Cavaliers in a couple games here, but yes, the full video is out on the channel, is linked in the description down below. Make sure to go check it out. All right. We go now to our first game of the day, and it is in Detroit, Michigan, between the Detroit Pistons and the Chicago Bulls. So the Bulls still holding on to that final spot in the Eastern Conference play-in. They are 7 games under 500, but they still are in the play-in right now. They're going to Detroit to take on the Pistons, a Pistons team that bounced back and won their last game on Friday against the Dallas Mavericks. Cade Cunningham with a 40-piece in that game. The Pistons get back to 500 with that victory. They should beat the Chicago Bulls. I get it. Detroit was on a losing streak. They lose in Orlando. They lose in Cleveland. They lose in Indiana. But they've returned home. They will be home for a very long time. Their next road game comes against the Bulls, actually, on Tuesday, February 11th. It is the first of back-to-back games on the 11th and the 12th against Chicago on the road. But Detroit should be okay in this spot. They're 5.5-point favorites. Cade Cunningham has been playing lights out. Obviously, he got named to his first ever All-Star team this year as well. Chicago is a ticking time bomb. Again, the first major trade happened today, obviously, or yesterday with Luka and AD. It's only a matter of time before the Bulls blow it up. I said yesterday on our predictions video that it's only a matter of time before the Jazz blow it up. And obviously, they already made some trades. Patty Mills gone. Drew Eubanks got. PJ Tucker apparently still in the league. He's going to the Jazz. But obviously, again, we said it. The Jazz it's only a matter of time before they start trading everybody away. They just got Jalen Hood-Schifino. But again, the thing about Utah is that team's going to blow up eventually. We would think the same thing can be said about Chicago. It's a matter of time, honestly. It's a matter of time before Vucevic gets traded. Zach LaVine, who is still out in this game for personal issues. So no LaVine. We can't trust the Bulls to win without Zach LaVine. He's by far their best guy, and this team is going to turn into absolute crap once they eventually do trade LaVine. Because obviously, again, the Bulls, yes, they're in the plan right now. They have no actual hopes of winning anything this year. I think we all expect Philadelphia to probably catch them, even though the Sixers have an incredibly tough schedule down the stretch. I think the Sixers, as they get healthier, will get that last play-in spot and probably finish, maybe with the 9 spot in the play-in. Again, that's very far down the line. But the Bulls aren't equipped to win anything. Detroit right now is playing like the better basketball team. The Pistons 7th right now in the Eastern Conference. Somehow the Heat are 6th now because of their win against San Antonio last night. My goodness. Something. Anyways, give me the Pistons to win this basketball game. I think they win and cover against the Bulls, obviously against a Chicago team without their best player in Zach LaVine. Don't know where LaVine goes now, actually, probably the Warriors. I don't know. Anyways, can the Lakers trade for DeAndre Ayton now? I know he's not as good as Walker Kessler is, but hey, Hachimura, first-round pick, DeAndre Ayton. Let's make it happen, Portland. You're winning a lot of games right now, but again, we predicted them to win yesterday as dogs at home against Phoenix. I'll take DeAndre Ayton. We need a center now in Los Angeles. It can't be Jackson Hayes. It can't be. Anyways, here's this. I flipped around the graphic. Oh, that's actually horrible. My fault. Cleveland's at home. Dallas is on the road. Dallas is certainly not a minus 800 favorite, and Cleveland is certainly not a plus 500 dog. So I apologize. The graphic is screwed up. Okay? The Cavaliers are winning this basketball game, and they're blowing out the Dallas Mavericks. Okay? Guys, this was a knife to the chest for every Dallas Mavericks fan, obviously. But think about how this affects the players. Now, again, I think Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis, actually, for this season and probably next year as well, it's not a bad unit, obviously. You still get Derek Lively. They add Max Christie, who's not bad. I know Lively's out with an injury, but it's not a horrible team. And I think Dallas is equipped to win for the next couple seasons. The difference between the Mavericks and the Lakers now, with the Lakers having Luka, is that the Lakers are now equipped to win for the next 10 years. And I honestly think they're going to get Giannis Antetokounmpo in free agency in 2 seasons. I think once LeBron retires, LeBron will retire, and that next offseason, Giannis will join the Lakers. I legitimately think that's going to happen. And Giannis and Luka become the next Kobe and Shaq. I know it's not quite the same, but, that's going to be the new duo in Los Angeles. Trust me, that's what's going to happen. The Lakers have been built around duos. It's just they've never really had the super team. They tried it, obviously, in 2013 with Nash, Kobe, Gasol, and Dwight. But the Lakers have always been built around duos. Kareem and Magic. Kobe and Shaq. Kobe and Pau. LeBron and AD. Now LeBron, Luka. Once LeBron retires, it will be Bronny and Luka. I mean, Luka and Giannis. But the big three will be with Bronny James. Just making sure I clarify my point there. Anyways, the difference between the Mavs and the Lakers is the Lakers are going to be set to win now for the next 10 years. Luka's 25 years old. The Mavs are set to win for the next 3 years. I mean, how good is Kyrie going to be at 35? How good is AD going to be in 3 years at 34? Right? Again, I think the Mavs are going to be very competitive. Obviously, AD's not playing this game, right? But think about it. The Mavs they lost their franchise guy. They're going to get blown out tonight. It's that simple. The game is not in Dallas. I mixed up the graphic. This game's in Cleveland. And again, they're playing one of the best teams, if not the best team in the NBA right now, in the Cleveland Cavaliers, a team that just beat the Hawks by 22 points. They beat the Heat by 20. They beat the Pistons by 20. They're going to blow out the Mavericks. I think Kyrie's playing, obviously no AD. He's still hurt. He won't play his first game for the Mavericks in a little bit. But it's an injured Mavs team. Who knows if Kyrie even plays? Gadford questionable, PJ Washington questionable, but shout out to Anthony Davis. You ask for a center, so Rob Pelinka goes out and gets you Daniel Gadford. Oh, but you're a member of the Dallas Mavericks now. Again, I want to make this very clear. I have as a Lakers guy, no hate in my heart towards Anthony Davis. I think Anthony Davis is a Lakers legend. I appreciate everything he's done for this basketball team, but I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't excited for the future, because now we have our guy for the next 10 years. And the Lakers have to remain competitive now for the next 10 years because you get Luka. And Luka's only going to bring in more free agents. I mean, guys, you just got a top 5 player in the NBA for the next 10 seasons. I mean, it's a good day to be a Lakers fan. They might not win it this season, I'll be honest with you. It's okay. I'm willing, honestly. I've seen enough Lakers losing over the last couple of years. I'm willing to trade, maybe a first or second round exit this year for 10 years of competitive basketball and potentially Giannis in a couple seasons. I'm fine. It's more than okay with me. Love LeBron. We'll get him a ring next year. We'll try this year. Let's get DeAndre Ayton for this year, or Walker Kessler. But come on now. Luka? Excellent. Give me the Cavs to win this game and cover the 12.5 as well. Next up, let's go to Toronto, Ontario, Canada. We got the Toronto Raptors taking on the Los Angeles Clippers. USA, give me the Los Angeles Clippers to win and cover the 4.5 points as well. If Toronto had won their last game, I'd honestly very heavily consider taking Toronto to win this game against the Clippers, but they just lost at home to the Bulls without Zach LaVine. We were talking about how hot the Raptors were and how, at the same time, how hot the Portland Trailblazers were, and actually the Blazers still are, obviously, after their victory yesterday against the Phoenix Suns. I don't think we can put the Raptors in that same category right now as the Blazers, because they lost to Chicago at home. What are we doing? Toronto was real hot, right? Wins at home against the Warriors, the Celtics. They lose on the road in Milwaukee, but they come back home, beat Orlando, go to Atlanta, win back-to-back games on the road, beat the Pels, go to Washington and beat the Wizards. They return home to lose to the Bulls. How? How does that happen? This is still a good team, obviously. You get IQ back. Emmanuel Quickley's back in the starting lineup, obviously back from injury. Dick, Barrett, Barnes, Jakob Poeltl at the 5. Another guy who the Lakers, I've heard, Kelly Olynyk might be a Laker. No! Jakob Poeltl's right there. Throw in Trey Jemison, Christian Koloko. Throw him in there with Hachimura for Jakob Poeltl. We got Markieff Morris now. He's back. No, get Jakob Poeltl. Get DeAndre Ayton. Get Walker Kessler. None of this Jonas Valanciunas, Kelly Olynyk garbage. No, Poeltl, Ayton, Kessler. Those are the guys we want in Los Angeles to be the starting 5 this season for the playoff run. Not Jackson Hayes, not Kelly Olynyk, none of this. Jakob Poeltl. Anyways, I think the Clippers win this game. They're coming off back-to-back road victories in San Antonio and then against Charlotte on the road, against the Hornets. Is Kawhi playing? Kawhi is playing. Has Kawhi played in Toronto since? I assume he has to. He's been gone for like 5 years at this point. Yeah, I remember. I think they gave him a video package at one point. Kawhi's playing. No Norman Powell, though. Powell, arguably their best player. Norman is out with right hip soreness. And now, obviously, the guys that the Clippers got in their trade, where they traded PJ Tucker and Mo Bamba for Patty Mills, Drew Eubanks. I think that's it. No Eubanks tonight, no Patty Mills. I don't think the move's bad for the Clippers, honestly, and obviously this is going to be a trade that's going to get buried, obviously, because of Anthony Davis and Luka Doncic, but I don't think it's a bad move for the Clippers, but at the same time, does Drew Eubanks really help them out more than Mo Bamba? Bamba, honestly, as I was watching Mo Bamba more and more this year, he was kind of getting the shooting figured out a little bit. I didn't mind Bamba on the Clippers. I get it, Eubanks is more experienced. He's probably a slightly better defender, but Eubanks is a little undersized at the 5. That's why I'm a little confused. Eubanks is 6'10", and he's now their backup center. I don't know. Eubanks, I don't know. I didn't get that trade, I'll be honest with you. I really didn't. You get Patty Mills, but that's just depth. Mills is not going to play. He's going to be the 6th, 7th, 8th guy off the bench. He's not going to be in the second rotation. He's just a reserve if you need him. Obviously some veteran presence, but yeah, I didn't really get that trade. I really didn't. I get you want PJ Tucker off the books, but did you have to give up Bamba for that? Like, if you're just trying to get rid of PJ Tucker, which I don't think that was the motive of the trade, you probably could have just done PJ Tucker for Patty Mills. The Jazz probably wouldn't have said no. You throw in a second round pick, right? I don't know. That didn't really understand that move. Norman Powell, though, who I think is the best player on the Clippers. Obviously, James Harden, though, is elite this year. He's an all-star, even though I think Norman should have got it over him, if I'm being honest. But I think the Clippers go on the road and beat the Raptors. They're the better basketball team, and the Raptors are coming off of that loss at home against the Chicago Bulls. I think their Cinderella run's over. Again, we were talking at one point, the Raptors, hey, if they make a push here, they're only 5 games out the play-in. They are still, because the Bulls are there, but if they beat the Bulls, they would have been only 4 games out because they would have got a game on Chicago. So you can just scratch those playoff hopes for the Raptors, and we can start watching the Portland Trailblazers' potential playoff hopes, because they are now only 5 games out of the play-in. How? They're only a couple games back to the San Antonio Spurs. What is going on in the National Basketball Association? Anyways, give me Portland to win the basketball. Not Portland. Give me the Clippers to go on the road to Toronto, win the game, and cover the 4.5 points. Took you long enough. To our next game, we go to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, for the Philadelphia 76ers and the Boston Celtics. I'm going to take Boston to win. I'm going to take Philadelphia to cover. Philly's actually been great in cover spots. I get it, they're very injured. No Joel Embiid still. Drummond questionable. No Paul George. KJ Martin out. Caleb Martin questionable. Doesn't matter. Guys, Tyrese Maxey's been playing like the best player in basketball in the last week. I'm not saying Tyrese, again, is the best player in the NBA, but over the last week, name a better performer other than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. But in the Eastern Conference, name a better player in the last week than Tyrese Maxey. The week that guy just put together. In the last 7 days, the guy scored 31 in a victory over Chicago, 31-9, 43 points against the Los Angeles Lakers on Tuesday. It's a victory that keeps on aging better and better, because the Lakers then went to Washington and blew out the Wizards, which everyone does. Well, not the Timberwolves. And then the Lakers obviously went to the Garden to beat the Knicks. Maxey 30-8 in a victory on the very next night against the Sacramento Kings, and then 42-9 in a loss by 3 points to the Denver Nuggets. Who has had a better week in the East than Tyrese Maxey? So ultimately, that's why we're taking Philadelphia to cover the 10.5 points. Guys, don't forget the last time these two teams played, it was Christmas. I get it, Embiid was playing. The Sixers were more than healthy back then, but they went to Boston and won that game. I don't think we get that much of a shift to the point where the Celtics win this game by more than 11 points. I think the Sixers cover. I'd be hesitant to play Sixers money lines. We're going to take the safe play on that one. Again, I'm not betting Celtics money line, obviously, but the safer one, obviously, is Boston money line at Philly spread, and that's what we're going with. We're going straight Philly spread in this basketball game, and why? Tyrese Maxey. Doesn't matter who's injured. Maxey's been keeping this team together. I get it. Boston, by far, is the all-around better unit. Hell, their entire starting 5 is healthy. Their entire bench unit is healthy right now, with Derek White, with Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Kristaps Porzingis. I get that. But who's been really good off the bench this year for the Sixers, who has had to step into a starting role most of the time? Gershon Yabusele. Yabusele does not get the credit he deserves, man. He is a very good big for the Sixers. He has had to play big minutes, obviously, with the many injuries to Joel Embiid. I mean, the guy's just a part-time player at this point. I saw Embiid reacting to the AD Luka trade on Twitter. I thought the comments were hilarious. Everyone's just asking, like, oh, you going to watch these guys from the bench? Bro's acting like he's still in the league. I don't know when Embiid's coming back, but when Embiid does come back again, we've said it before with the Sixers, as they've been better, in the last 2 weeks, that's not a team you want to see in the play-in. It's just not. If you're Atlanta, if you're Orlando, if you're Miami, if you are Detroit, it's not a team you want to see in a win-or-go-home situation. I think the Celtics win, but I think Philly keeps it competitive. The only thing holding back the Sixers for the rest of the season is their very difficult schedule. But give me Philly to win this basketball game. Philly to cover this basketball game, but ultimately, yes, the Boston Celtics get it done. Boston, obviously, minus 650 favorites, so they'll win this game. To our final game of the night, and the biggest game of the night, we go to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Maybe the bigger game is Dallas, Cleveland, just because there's more intrigue around it. But the Milwaukee Bucks hosting the Memphis Grizzlies. If Ja was playing, I'd take the Grizzlies. But with no Ja, I'm going to take Milwaukee. Well, they haven't officially ruled Ja out, but the official injury report on Ja Morant is that Morant is listed doubtful with a shoulder injury. That means he's probably not going to play. I don't know the last time, legitimately in any sport, that I saw a guy listed as doubtful play. Like, honest to God, if you can name me a situation, tell me. Like, I would actually be very interested to know. When's the last time a guy has been deemed doubtful before the game and he actually gave it a go? I can't honestly think of one. Doubtful just means out at this point. Questionable legitimately means 50-50, and then probable, that's another one. I don't think I've ever seen a player who's listed as probable not actually give it a go. You might as well say they're playing or not, and if you don't know, then it's just questionable. Doubtful and probable, that just, you know what they mean. Milwaukee has been struggling. They lost back-to-back games in Portland, but Portland's getting everyone right now, and they go to San Antonio and win or lose, obviously. Giannis had a big night. Obviously, that game went kind of viral because of those two possessions early in the game where Wemby blocked Giannis on back-to-back possessions. Now, again, Antetokounmpo, a future Los Angeles Lakers legend. His name and number will be up in the rafters one day as well, obviously, in Los Angeles, joining Luka, Doncic, LeBron James, potentially Anthony Davis. But anyways, I think the Bucks win this game against the Grizzlies. No Ja, which again hasn't really hurt the Grizzlies that much this season. Obviously, it did last year, but this year they have been able to play fairly well without Ja. I think tonight it's going to hurt them, though. Milwaukee returns home after a very tough road trip. They have, oh my goodness, there's so many guys injured, but everyone's probable. Chris Middleton, probable. Taurean Prince, probable. Brook Lopez, probable. Damian Lillard, probable. Giannis, probable. Bobby Portis still out. Gary Trent, probable. So they have a very long injury report for this game, but it doesn't matter because they're all going to play anyway. So I think the Bucks get this one. No Ja, again, it has not hurt the Grizzlies that much this season, but in a spot like this, on ESPN primetime spot, I think the Bucks get it. I think they should, they're looking for some get back, obviously, after that bad end of the road trip with the losses in Portland and to San Antonio as well. I think the Bucks get this one. I think Giannis has a big night. I think Damian Lillard, that matchup, likely Dame versus Scottie Pippen Jr. Yeah, I think it's Dame time in this one. I'm going to take the Milwaukee Bucks to win at home here against the Memphis Grizzlies. So, folks, thank y'all for watching our NBA predictions here for Sunday, February 2nd. If you have not yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video, and make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. We'll be back tomorrow for more daily NBA predictions. Make sure to go check out our reaction to the Luka Anthony Davis trade, and make sure to check out our college basketball best bets as well. And we'll also have our UFC Duplessis versus Strickland predictions out for you on the channel later today as well. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba